showing you how to go through the budget assignment. And so you should have your instructions up if you want to follow through with this. And so I'm going to go through it pretty quickly. And so as you see, after you open up the Google Sheet, rename it budget, comma, your name, obviously your own name, and share it with ekendrick@lshi.org. This will be the way that you turn the Google Sheet in. And so I look at the basic budget sheet tab. It says B1, look up an entry-level salary for your career. I recommend Googling it and then clicking on the payscale.com's entry. Their website is a nightmare to navigate, but their info is really solid. You could also use any other salary website that seems that is reputable, and usually Indeed. So I'm doing salary for a police officer entry level, and so PayScale was in the top 3. I will go here. This is the average police officer salary. Now we are looking for entry level, so you are going to go down a little bit. You'll see experience, and I can click entry level. It will refresh to average entry level police officer salary. So I can copy and paste, and that should work. And so, yeah, as you can see, this just went to yes. So I look at B2, I could take the salary from there, just copy, paste, great. And then amount I want to donate to charity each year. It says you need to donate to 2 nonprofits at least $500 a month all together. And I'm just going to do 2 that I actually donate to. I donate to Catholic Charities. They do a lot of work with affordable housing, immigration, helping families with their financial planning, and way more than that. And I'm going to donate $50. Oops. You do want to be careful doing this. If you make a mistake, you want to go back to it. I'm going to donate $300 a year to this charity. And I also donate to L'Arche, which is an adult foster care home for adults with developmental disabilities. And so let's donate a little bit above the minimum here. Let's donate $400. And so then we go to B7. So before you buy a house, you'll need to find a place to rent. I recommend this website. I ended up going to Craigslist for this example. And so as you can see, it's $2,300 and 10 for the rent. 10. You put that into B7, as you can see. Number of renters. You go to look at the number of bedrooms. This is a 4-bedroom. And so I'm going to say 4. And that will divide the rent among the different people. And you saw that me by myself paying that rent was not affordable. And then as soon as I put in the 4 renters, it became affordable. The next one, as you can see, and you don't always need the instructions. It's mainly to help if you are struggling. I look at the website, just do copy, oops. Here we go. And paste. And the amount I'd like to invest each year. So I'm just starting out, so I'll just say, you know what, I'll do the recommended starting over the course of time. And you can see that it doesn't quite double. It actually gets to about 150% of the original by the end of 10 years, but it way more than doubles by the end of 20 years, which is great. And with this, you can answer the question 1 and question 2. I can see that I make about $3,501.34, and then you just take this number and subtract it by this number for question number 2. And you just want to keep tabs. You want this to be green at the end. This is going to determine whether your budget is balanced or if it's positive. This next one is just a fun loan calculator that can be really helpful. So if I'm like, okay, if I'm going to take out a $5,000 loan for at 4% interest over the course of 4 years, how much am I going to pay in interest over the course of the time? What's my minimum monthly payment? And let's say I'm using the debt snowball and I have $300. Ooh, now rather than taking 4 years, it's going to take 12 months. So 1 year, and I'm going to save $306 over the course of it. It's just kind of fun to mess with. You can see how it works for a lot of things. This would be something that I might return to. You can even see how interest rates change things, all of that fun stuff. It doesn't count for anything for points, but it can be helpful if you're trying to, it's a good brainstorming place for things. Okay, let's say, okay, so for going to police officer, I go to college. Let's say, so will I be going to college? Yes. Will I go to community college? No. And although I would choose this if I'm going to community college, or if I have a full ride scholarship, or if somebody else is paying my school. So let's actually say that I have a full ride scholarship, and so you choose the lowest possible thing, and that'll give you the lowest possible loan. So you'd click yes, and so my loan will only be $7,500. I don't think for becoming a police officer I need a master's degree. I don't believe that I know I do not need a law degree or some other sort of professional degree. I know I'm not going to med school, so no. Deferring your loan means that you take a lot of time to not pay it. It will accrue interest. You don't need to change this, but if you really want to defer your loan for a year or two to get settled, you could put 1, and obviously that'll increase the amount of interest you'd pay, but I'm going to leave it at 0. And you don't normally change this one, B8, unless you have a lot of trouble the first time through. Now if I go look at the budget sheet, we're still at green. And so as you can see, I'm going down the bottom. And if you want to look at how all of the loans work, you can look over here. And so the question is, what's the total interest you will pay if you only make the minimum payments? Hint, the answer will be in dollars. So the total interest I will pay if I only make minimum payments. Ooh, okay, look, here's the total interest paid. This is the percent interest I pay over the full course of the loan, and I'm going to guess that this number is the total amount of interest I pay. So I just put this number there. Okay, let's go to the vehicle help tab, which is maroon. You can see it all there. So find a vehicle you want to purchase when you finish your education. I know most of you have vehicles. Let's pretend that you're going to buy a different car in the next 5 to 10 years. Many of you will. And regardless, you probably will buy another car at some point. And I recommend just a simple Google search. And Craigslist isn't bad for used cars. So I'm going to go, look, I found this 2005 Subaru Outback station wagon for $3,700. And so I'm going to just copy and paste this here. And let's see, so that was $3,700. And so I've got a problem in that you can't have a car loan under $5,000. So I'm going to need to pay this in cash or figure out something else. This might be a little bit difficult, but as you can see, everything's fine. Now don't worry about these numbers because you're basically it's simulating a loan that's dividing by 0. And I would just Google the amount of gas per gallon for this part here. As you remember, only filling out the teal. I don't need to even worry about the loan duration because I'm not even taking out a loan. And so, yeah, and actually I'll even do this for you. So 2005 Subaru Outback wagon gas mileage. Boom. And so we'll just split the difference, call it 25. Wow, it just happened to be the default that I have in there. So that leaves us there. And so if you see, what is the total interest you will pay if you only make minimum payments? Well, for this one, it is going to be 0 because I'm not taking out a loan at all. Okay, let's go look at the mortgage help tab. So find a house or condo you want to purchase after 6 years of finishing your education. This is in C2, and I would recommend the Zillow.com or just a simple Google search. So I went with Zillow. Zillow can also work for rentals as well. I found this house in Portland. It looks fine, and so I'll just copy and paste this to here. And it costs, what was that? $3,000, almost $330,000. And so, yeah, I doubt that on my salary I'd be able to afford much more for this for a down payment. Here's the loan duration and the total interest over 30 years would be this much. So as you can see, for a longer loan term, this is going to be a lot more interest, almost 100% in interest over the course of 30 years. And so let's go look at the debt snowball. This is where things get a little bit more complicated because, I see that this is the amount I have as a positive cash flow per month. It looks pretty good, except for when I get to year 6. Year 6 starts with orange to match that mortgage help. So this is the year I'm trying to buy the house. And as you can see, right now I can't afford it with the current state of things. And so B2 shows how much cash flow I have per month, and in B3 will show how much I'm actually going to put forward to paying off my debts. So I'd be doing the debt snowball, so I have my lowest balance, which is my credit card, and the starting balance on my credit card, and everyone starting out with credit card debt in this, is $1,250 at 20% interest. And right now I'm paying $300 a year. And so I can put all of this extra money here, put that number there, and this will be paid off a lot sooner. Right now it's going to be paid off in 108 months, and that's almost 10 years. As you can see, it gets paid off there. I put green numbers generally when things are good and red numbers when things are bad. And you can see the student loans, 6%. I have 7,500 loans. This is the lowest line because I want you to learn how the loans work. The standard loan term is 10 years, so as you can see, I pay it off in 10 years. And the house is bought in year 6, as you can see, and the loan starts there. As it says, if you haven't paid it off by the end, this number actually isn't meaningful about the number that you save. And so let's check out the debt snowball and how it works. So all these numbers are really complicated, but here we go. And honestly, generally the best thing will be, as we talked about with Dave Ramsey, putting all of your extra money towards the debt snowball. And so look at what happened. So I put all my extra money, and then that which was paid off in almost 10 years, I pay off this credit card now in 4.7 months. And even just with that, I'll be putting a lot more towards my car, my student loans, because I bought my car in cash. And rather than paying off in 10 years, just with doing that for 1 year, I'm not paying it off in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, just with 1 year. I still haven't taken much off of the pressure for the house, but that might happen later. And so let's just look at what happens in year 2. Boom. Okay, so now look at this. I put all this extra money in addition to the minimum payments I had on my credit card, in addition to the minimum payments for my student loans. I pay them off in I pay these off in basically 18 months. And now all of this extra money is going to save for a house. And so this is where we might see the numbers pay off. And so you can if you use all of your extra money to provide for the house once you're finished, that will work. So, okay, I have all this extra money. I'm going to use this to save for a house. And then I have all of this extra money in year 4. I'm going to use this to save for a house. And if you want to go down, you could even look like, okay, I'm saving $10,000 this year, $8,000 this year, and the number is going down. I'm going to be pretty close. Boom. Okay, so right now it shows that I cannot afford the house that I bought. And so there's several options. I could look for a different house, or I could decrease the amount that I put down on the house. Let's see if that does anything. Yeah, I'm actually, nope, not quite good there. So this is actually indicating that probably the house that I bought, I cannot afford. And this will happen. There are things that you can't afford. So I probably would need to go back and look for a cheaper house. I'll be honest that buying a house within 6 years in Portland on this kind of salary, even with cost of living raises, is not likely. And so that's something I need to account for. Obviously, this is just a very simple form. Obviously, I could probably buy it maybe in year 8, 9, or 10, but the goal of this is just to see whether you can buy it in year 6. And so you would be answering all these questions as you went. If I go back and do 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, you'll see that you can answer all these questions. Yeah, if you only pay the minimum payments, boom, right there. And you'll determine when you actually pay off your credit card by the way that you fill this out and what year you pay off your car. And obviously mine would be 0. And then you go through all these questions, and then you go back and look, is it green? Obviously mine, I just changed everything, but if we undo, so mine is green. It is balanced at the end, but I cannot afford, is your year 1 budget balanced? And that's really important. If your year 1 budget isn't balanced, it's not going to be able to be sustainable. If you want to, you can look at the taxes. I added this on just as a helpful thing to show you how your tax bracket operates, but there's no requirement for this. I hope this was useful. I did go through it fairly quickly, but I wanted to just show you how this assignment works.